Tools needed to install this performance air intake system include a flat blade screwdriver, a ratchet and extension, a 10mm socket, a 10mm wrench, a 4mm Allen wrench, and a T30 torque socket. To start, first, turn your vehicle's ignition off and disconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Release the center pin on the 5 radiator cover clips. Remove those clips from the radiator cover. Lift up on the radiator cover and pull back to release from the retaining hook. Then remove the cover from the vehicle. Disconnect the crankcase vent hose from the factory intake tube. Loosen the 2 intake tube hose clamps, then remove the intake tube from the vehicle. Release the mass air sensor electrical connection clip, then disconnect the electrical connection. Pull up on the airbox assembly to dislodge it from the 3 mounting pins, and then remove the airbox from the vehicle. K&N recommends that you do not discard your factory airbox. Remove the 3 airbox mounting pins with a T30 Torx socket. Loosen the hose clamps that secure the mass air sensor to the factory airbox, then remove it. Assemble the heat shield and mass air sensor assembly with the provided hardware and gaskets that come with your new K&N intake system. Install the edge trim onto the heat shield. Some trimming may be necessary. Place the 2 rubber washers onto the inner fender at the lower airbox mounting pin locations. Install the heat shield assembly onto the inner fender and start the mount bolts in the airbox mounting pinholes, and then place the air filter into position. Tighten the heat shield mounting bolts, and then install the air filter onto the air filter adapter and secure with the provided hose clamp. Install the rubber-mounted stud onto the heat shield mounting bracket, part number 07091, and secure with the provided hardware. Install the heat shield mounting bracket onto the heat shield, and then secure the bracket to the inner fender at the upper airbox mounting pin location with the provided hardware. Install the silicone hose, part number 08625, onto the throttle body and secure with the provided hose clamps. Install the silicone hump hose, part number 08176, onto the intake tube and secure with the provided hose clamps. Install the K&N intake tube onto the throttle body and mass air sensor and secure with the provided hose clamps. Install the crankcase vent hose onto the K&N intake tube. Reinstall the radiator cover and the 5 mounting clips we removed in step 2. Reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable. Double check to make sure everything you've just installed is tight and properly positioned before starting your vehicle. Part number 63-3053 is not street legal for use in California and other states with similar emissions standards. Part 57-3053 is 50 state street legal. Go to knfilters.com to see the latest list of vehicle applications for each part. If you are installing part number 57-3053, place the included CARB exemption decal visibly under the hood so that an emissions inspector can see it during their smog inspection. California requires testing every 2 years. Other states may vary. After 100 miles of driving, check the nuts and bolts in your air intake performance system and retighten them if necessary.